Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on a very special review for you. Welcome to Founders 2018 Barrel Aged lineup. These 6 beers should look familiar to you, but if not, let me introduce you to the Founders 2018 Barrel Aged series. From first release to the last, we have KBS, which is a stout, introduced in March 2018, Backwoods Bastard, a Scotch ale, released in April, Dank Wood, a red IPA, released in May, Barrel Runner, the Mosaic IPA, released in July, Curmudgeon's Better Half, an old ale, released in September, and CBS, the November release, which is another stout. Now, Barrel Runner is the only one that isn't aged in a bourbon barrel of some sort. Barrel Runner was aged in a rum barrel, and I think it really set it apart from the rest because of that different character profile of the rum barrel. It just makes it a little bit different. You also notice from that rundown that they released IPAs in the heat of the summer. At the time, a lot of people were disappointed that they decided to release barrel-aged IPAs. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but that's not the most popular barrel-aged style, but I can understand why they went that way because of the summer. So while I may not agree with that, I can definitely see the logic behind it. So what I wanted to do with this video was, now that most of these have had some time to age, I felt like it would be a good time to come back and revisit these. None of these have been refrigerated prior to today, so they've been hanging out in my cellar all year waiting just for this moment. I can feel they're just really excited about it. So I'm going to open each one of these, pour and smell, and then give you my final thoughts on this year's series. I also want to give a big shout out to user DJR001. He kind of sent me a comment and suggested this. I was already kind of thinking of doing something like this because I had all the beers, and I've said in previous videos and reviews, which I'll leave all linked down below this, that I wanted to kind of revisit these and see how they tasted after they mellowed out. Maybe some of them were a little bit stronger than I'd like, and some weren't as strong as I would have liked. And I can tell you that this one, you might notice, doesn't have a cap on it. I just recorded my CBS review, and rather than opening another bomber to kind of do this video, I'm doing them back to back. So that's why there's no cap on this. It's had a little bit of time to breathe, but these have all been out of the refrigerator for the exact same amount of time. And I can tell you that the rundown before CBS was in the mix, I would say that, thinking about it, the KBS was my favorite, and then I think Better Half was probably second, tied really close with Backwoods Bastard, then Dank Wood and Barrel Runner. Barrel Runner has been my least favorite, and from what I've been reading and hearing, it's the least favorite of most other people as well, just because, I don't know, IPA and rum barrel aged, it didn't work out for me. It kind of tastes like you're, I don't know, drinking something out of a pirate's boot. So yeah, I just wasn't a huge fan. I'm going to use these smaller glasses. I have 6 of them, coincidentally matches the 6 different beers I have here. And all of these, as you'll notice, and this was a CBS cap from my previous video, they all have these gold caps. They all say Founders Brewing on them, and on the inside they all say barrel aged. They all have the year, the 2018 release year, except for Backwoods Bastard. It doesn't have a year on it. On the back here, we'll just use KBS for an example. They have the year here, 2018 series, or 2018 release. Backwoods Bastard doesn't. The difference, you can tell the difference between a 2017 and a 2018 Backwoods Bastard because the 2017 has a kind of reddish embossing around the edge of it. The 2018 has blue. Just kind of talking about the labels here, they all have a similar feel label. It's all kind of like a parchmented matte label. They all have this embossing. CBS is red, Better Half is silver, Barrel Runner is blue, Dank Wood is gold, Backwoods Bastard 2018, it's also blue, and KBS is another like bronze kind of goldish color. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with KBS. I'm going to pop open all the caps. I'm going to take a smell, pour a little bit of each one, and then I'm just going to kind of do a drink off where I'm going to bracket them a little bit. I'm going to go down the line, and I'm going to eliminate which ones in order were not my favorite, essentially, and then we'll kind of get down to the nitty-gritty, and I'll talk about each one. So I'm going to go ahead and open KBS here, pop the cap, set it, and let it breathe here for a minute. Wanted to make sure that that wasn't pouring over. Backwoods Bastard for 2018. These have all been sitting out for a little bit, probably about 20 minutes at this point, out of my fridge. This one is Dank Wood, which Dank Wood is one where I kind of warmed up to it the longer I kind of thought about it, because I like red IPAs a lot. I like amber IPAs because I like the maltiness of it. And this one had a bit of malty flavor to it. This is Barrel Runner. Again, this is the rum barrel aged beer. Barrel Runner as in like a rum runner, I'm guessing. And then Founders Curmudgeon's Better Half. Taking the top off of that one. So now I have a nice collection of golden caps here. And the one thing, they all have the date stamped on the back. This one says bottled on February 15th, 2018, 12.3%. Backwoods Bastard bottled on 3/2018, 11%. Dank Wood bottled on 4/17, 12.2%. Barrel Runner, there is nothing on the back of this. It's blank. You can see in my review. Again, it's going to be linked below this video. I don't know what happened there. It must have been just an error or something. And this one, Curmudgeon's Better Half, bottled on August 15th, 12.7%. So I think it's 12.7%, 12.3% in order, and then 12.2, whatever Barrel Runner is. And then I think CBS is 11.6%, and then Backwoods Bastard is 11%. So I am going to go ahead and smell and then pour KBS. I'm getting a nice kind of chocolatey smell out of it, as well as a bourbony smell. So go ahead and pour this. I'm not going to pour the whole thing, about half a glass. It's got a little bit of a head, very dark beer. Now we have Backwoods Bastard. Getting a bit of a spiciness, like it's a Scotch ale, so you get a little bit of that. I'm getting over a pretty bad cold, so I'm not picking up on a lot of scents on these, but I am getting a spiciness out of this and a little bit of that bourbon barrel. It's a Scotch ale. I remember this being really dark, but now that you look at it against KBS, it's not that dark. It's pretty brown, actually. So Dank Wood here, getting some of that dankness, getting, again, more bourbon. Going to go ahead and pour this. It's kind of getting lighter as it goes, isn't it now? So it's just a shade lighter, actually, than Backwoods Bastard, which I would have expected it to be a little bit lighter, but it's more of kind of a red IPA, but a little bit darker than a red. So this is Barrel Runner, which I remember being fairly light. Again, they call this a Mosaic Hopped Ale. They don't want to say it's an IPA. They just say it's Mosaic Hopped Ale. And then Better Half, which I remember being fairly dark. Not a lot of head on this. Actually, let me give it a sniff of Barrel Runner. Yeah, it smells sweet, like rummy, which I'm not a big rum fan. Better Half, let's give this a smell. This is in maple bourbon barrels. It's got a bourbon scent to it, but it also has a sweet kind of hint to it. And the Mac Daddy, the Granddaddy, I don't really know if that's either of those apply to this, but this is CBS. This is going to be very dark, very thick. Actually thicker, I think, than KBS was. So it has a nice coffee-colored head, and it's funny. It goes from really dark to a little lighter to a little lighter to a lot lighter to a little bit more red to dark again. So it's kind of like a bell curve almost. So I'm going to start with KBS. I'm just going to go down the line, and then I'm going to pick, kind of narrow it down, say which one it's my least favorite, which one I like the most, and then we'll break it out. KBS here. Wow. So I'm getting a lot of chocolate. I'm getting a bourbon taste, of course, but it's actually a lot more mellow than I was expecting it. It has a little bit of an alcohol burn to it. Has a really nice sweet taste to it that almost kind of hits you on the front and then on the back, but in the middle. I think the second time that sweetness kind of perks up, you get that chocolate and you get the coffee. And again, I just did CBS, so I'm just going to drink CBS right now because I didn't get much coffee on CBS, but it is a lot sweeter than KBS. KBS has more of a dark chocolate taste to it, where CBS has more of a kind of milky, light chocolate. It has like a cola kind of taste to it. That's the only thing I can really put my finger on. It's almost like a Coca-Cola kind of taste to it. It's just odd. It's not bad, but if it's going to come down to those two, I'm going to give it to KBS because I like that dark chocolate taste a little bit better in beer than I like kind of a sweet chocolate taste. So this is Backwoods Bastard. It also kind of sweetened up. You get that Scotch ale kind of spiciness to it, which is really good. But I remember them being a lot stronger, a lot more bourbon kind of taste to them. I can feel the bourbon. Like I can feel that I've been drinking bourbon, but it's not nearly as strong on the taste as it was, however many months ago at this point. 8 months ago. So this is Dank Wood, which I wasn't super high on when I had it initially, but I think as I thought of it more, I liked it more. Wow, that bourbon's taste is still in there. Getting a nice sweet kind of IPA taste, hoppy, kind of citrusy hoppiness to it, which I like. And then it has that maltiness, which I like. I'm liking Dank Wood a lot more as it kind of ages. It's mellowed out a little bit, but it still has a nice bourbon punch to it. It's still not just an IPA. You can tell it has that hoppiness of an IPA, but it's not. People just dog on bourbon barrel-aged IPAs, and this one is, I like this one quite a bit. I love malty IPAs, and I think I'm liking it a lot more than I did the first time around. This is Barrel Runner, not my favorite. Still not my favorite. Again, like I said, they put the IPAs out in the height of the summer, the heat of the summer, but I can appreciate that Barrel Runner, as I go through the line, I drink 3 bourbon barrel-aged beers back to back, and they're all a little bit different style. I can appreciate that they went a different direction here with Barrel Runner. Let me get one more taste of it. The rum doesn't hurt it as much as it did because, again, the rum kind of faded a little bit, but I can still really taste that rum. Here's Curmudgeon's Better Half. Wow. Very, very, very sweet. Again, you can hear what I say about Curmudgeon's Better Half. You can hear all the details, all the gory details. This is just going to be a really quick overview of the whole series. Curmudgeon's Better Half I had never had before. I don't even know if I drank Curmudgeon before, but I like this one quite a bit, but it is very sweet. It's a little bit of a change of pace because, it's funny because thinking of it now and having CBS, I'm just going to drink CBS to complete the set here. They're not really all that different. So you get the bourbon, but it's a little bit more of a stout. Obviously, it's a stout, but it's a little bit more of a bitter kind of taste. And then you get that Scotch ale, which is a little bit more spiced, but sweet. It gets sweeter as it goes. So this is a little bit sweeter than Backwoods Bastard is. And then this is pretty sweet. It has a sweet kind of rum taste to it. And then Better Half gets leaps and bounds sweeter than Barrel Runner did, and then CBS is it's over the top. These two are both maple bourbon barrels, and you can really tell that sugar, that strong sweetness comes through. Just at first glance, if I had to eliminate one, my least favorite, and I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody, is Barrel Runner. Barrel Runner is my least favorite of the barrel-aged series. Barrel-aged IPAs are okay. I don't really hate them, but I would prefer a stout or a porter or a dark beer, a Scotch ale, an old ale, something like that along those lines. I really like those. I really wish that Founders would have done their Imperial Stout as, part of their barrel-aged series this year. Maybe we'll see it next year. If I had to go next, I think I like Dank Wood a lot. I'm really having a hard time gripping because I like CBS, but I think I almost like Dank Wood more. So it's almost down to these, Dank Wood and CBS are really close, like, to fourth place for me. That might be blasphemy to some people. But the thing with CBS that I'm not super crazy about is just that it's too sweet for me. It's almost too much. Like, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more, and I said this on my CBS review, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more coffee taste to it, a little bit more bitter, kind of astringent coffee taste, and it's just a little bit too sweet. Especially, I'm drinking a bomber. If I'm opening a bomber, 9 times out of 10, I'm drinking it by myself because I have all this other beer. So I'm going to open CBS. I'm going to drink the bomber by myself, or at least some of it. You can't recork it. The oxidation from the oxygen that gets into it. You can't put one of those plungers in, and it starts to go flat. I really wish 750 milliliter bottles or the regular 12-ounce bottles like these would have been available here in the U.S. It's available in Canada in those small bottles. So let's do CBS versus Dank Wood. So this is CBS, this is Dank Wood. Yeah, it's just too sweet. I hate to say it. I want to get these in the shot here in the order that I'm going. All right, so we're going to say Barrel Runner is absolutely last. It is 6 out of 6. I'm gonna say CBS because it's just too sweet. Like, I like the sweetness of it, but it's just too much. If I want sweetness out of it, I'm gonna go with Better Half. And then I think fourth place is gonna go to Dank Wood. I like, out of the IPAs that they released, the barrel-aged IPAs, I like it the better of the two. But I would just rather see a dark beer as a barrel-aged beer. So what we have left here is we have Curmudgeon's Better Half, we have Backwoods Bastard, and we have KBS. I think, again, you drink these fresh, you drink them aged, they're never going to be the same age, right? Because they're brewed at one point in time, and they're all, if I drink it now, it's November, right? It's middle of November. They're all going to be aged differently. So it's hard to say how much different they would be. Like if I drank them all fresh at the same time, I can't. I don't have a time machine. And a lot of people bring that up, and that's always my point of reference is that you can't change it because it's just when it was brewed, when it was released, they don't age the same. So what I have here is I have KBS, I have Backwoods Bastard, I have Better Half. I'm almost already decided that KBS is my number one. So I'm going to try Better Half, and I'm going to keep them in the hands so I can remember where they are. So I'm going to do Backwoods Bastard first. It's got that spiciness to it. It's got a good taste. And I'm going to go with Better Half here. Better Half almost has the same kind of folly that CBS has, in that it's really sweet. But I do like it a lot better than like CBS. But with that being said, for me personally, I like Better Half. But Backwoods Bastard just holds a really special place in my heart, and I think it's maybe nostalgia that's going to make me decide this. But I think Better Half is number 3. Super, super sweet, especially tasting it in this kind of setting. So what we have left here is KBS, and we have Backwoods Bastard. I'm going to move those out in front. I am going to try Backwoods Bastard first, and then KBS. Again, you got that Scotch taste, spiciness. Got some spicy notes. You get that bourbon taste to it, but then you have KBS here. Yeah, I just like KBS better. And the thing with it is that it's the complete package. You get the chocolate, you get the dark chocolate, you get the coffee, you get like a marshmallowy vanilla kind of taste. You get you get sweetness out of the bourbon. It just complements it. It all brings it together. It fits together like this just awesome, like, you drink a couple KBS and it's like putting together those old like 12-piece puzzles, right? When you were a kid. It's not difficult. It doesn't take a lot of brain power. It's just comforting. It's, when you're sloshed after drinking a couple KBSs, you can put those puzzle pieces right in there. They fit right together. And I think KBS, I don't want to, it's kind of the embodiment of that. It's not simple, but it just has this formula, right? It has that chocolate, that dark chocolate, but a little bit of sweetness to it. It has that marshmallow vanilla kind of taste to it, which mixes in with the bourbon just excellently. You know what I would really like to see, and just to try, is like a rye KBS. Like if they did a rye whiskey barrel version of KBS, I think that rye kind of spiciness would just really complement it really well. For the 2018 retrospective, I couldn't speak more highly of KBS in my video review. Again, it'll be linked below. And I think for the Founders Barrel Aged Series review, I just think KBS is the best beer that has come out in that series this year. And KBS would just take it overall for me. So in order, it'd be KBS number 1, Backwoods Bastard number 2, Better Half 3, Dank Wood 4, CBS 5, which last year I think it would have been my top 2, and then Barrel Runner just last. I appreciate that they went a little bit outside of the box, that they went with a rum flavor instead of doing another bourbon flavor, but it's a decent beer, but it's just not for me. It's not something I'd go for. I'm not a big rum guy. So that's the rundown. KBS is the ultimate winner here. All right, friends, that has been Founders Barrel Aged Series for 2018. What are your top 6? What's your favorite top 3? If you have any kind of dissenting opinions on any of this, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm here talking Michigan beer, twice a week. And the best part about it is it's absolutely free to viewers just like you. You can also find links to my social media, some merch, custom Tiku glass, links to all the gear that I use in these videos, and a link to my blog at drafttherapy.com. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. And remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries wherever they might be. And until next time, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching. Cheers.